From Bradenton, Florida, spring training baseball brought to you by TGI Fridays. From Lecom Park, the winter home of the Pittsburgh Pirates, it's the Buccos and the Atlanta Braves. And today's starter is Jameson Taillon, as he's getting ready for the home opener on Monday, April the 2nd against the Minnesota Twins at PNC Park. Greg Brown and Steve Blass with you, and looking forward to watching Jameson Taillon get ready for the start of the regular season. Steve, a guy who I think is embracing the role as the leader of the pitching staff.
Yeah, and he's got all the qualifications for that, Greg. He has great stuff. He's got a lot of weapons to choose from. You take a look at what happened with him last year before the DL stint, the 6 starts, 19 after. So you hope he's on the other side of all those physical issues, and you look for him to have a platform clearing year and just to take off. And any success that he has, I don't think it would surprise anybody, because again, he has so much to choose for. He could have a big year, and we look forward to him doing that and maybe getting a good extended outing today.
Jameson Taillon on the hill today, along with a lot of the guys that'll be in the starting lineup in Detroit in less than 2 weeks when the season begins, including Starling Marte and Josh Bell, along with Corey Dickerson, the new left fielder, and Gregory Polanco and others. First pitch coming up next.
But
Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. By UPMC, making life-changing medicine happen. And by TGI Fridays. Get it here or get it to go. In here, it's always Friday. Let's go Bucks!
Very pleasant afternoon here on the sun coast of Florida. Josh Harrison looking for a fan. And delivers.
Haha, found one.
And she's thrilled to have a baseball from Jay Hay.
Jameson Taillon going out to start this afternoon, and what you're hoping for to get the foundation of what you're looking for the season. Keep him healthy. Hope he's on the other side of all the injuries that have plagued him throughout the early part of his career. You want him out there maybe racking up 200 innings, maybe coming away with 30-some starts.
Breeze, of course, but beautiful blue skies here in Bradenton, Florida. Brian Snitker is the manager of the Atlanta Braves. Not a lot of starters over from Orlando, but some exciting young talent on this team, including Ozzie Albies. He will lead things off, hitting .293 this spring. They just acquired Ezekiel Carrera. Preston Tucker acquired over the winter from the Astros. Rio Ruiz is at first. Ryan Schimpf at third. Versatile center fielder Danny Santana. Sean Kazmar Jr. at short. Rob Brantley behind the plate for Aaron Blair. Elias Diaz behind the plate for Jamison Tyone. Albies, the switch hitter. Wraps it to first. Fielded cleanly by Josh Bell. One pitch, one out to begin this Friday before St. Patty's Day. Jamison Tyone, when you look at his starts last season, Steve mentioned, of course, the testicular cancer surgery. Came back 6 weeks later. Really a gutsy performance in 2017 for Tyone.
Yeah, wound up in spite of that, getting those 25 starts, so that was good. He's no stranger to Bradenton, by the way, Greg. He pitched here in 2012, early in his career. Looking for at least 4, maybe 5 innings from Tyone this afternoon.
The former Bradenton Marauder, a team that plays here in the summer in the Florida State League in the Pirates organization. See a lot of left-handed bats. It'll be a good test for Tyone. 0-2 on Ezekiel Carrera, 3 days ago signed by the Braves. A crowded outfield in Toronto with Curtis Granderson, the free agent. They dealt for Randall Grichuk, so Carrera was available, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, you just would love to see any pitcher, but we're looking at Tyone. Throw those strikes, put the pressure on the hitters, and just fill it up. Force them to catch up, not be ahead in the count. That helps the hitters all the time. Just keep pouring the strikes in.
Breaking pitch. Oh. Good night.
Lock City, right there. That's the real good curveball we've seen from Jamison Tyone from the beginning. That's a dandy. Maybe up a little bit higher than he wanted to be, but well done. Again, out in front in the count. What, 3 or 4 pitches, all strikes so far? That works.
Elias Diaz catches Jamison Tyone today. Now Preston Tucker.
One of the many things I like about Tyone, Greg, he's got 2 very impressive fastballs. He's got the riding fastball that you would think a guy that size can throw hard. He can also turn it over and throw the sinking fastballs. That is a tough program for hitters to deal with. A fastball that's kind of riding straight in, and then one that turns around and has good movement to it. That's a terrific combination. Not even going to the breaking ball stuff, but that's good with the heat.
A couple of strikes. Check out the Honda defense for the Pirates. Starling Marte in center. Dickerson Polanco on the corners. Colin Moran, Jordy Mercer on the left side. Josh Harrison, Josh Bell on the right side. Elias Diaz behind the plate.
Yeah, with the exception of Cervelli not being in there, you could see a lot of that group.
Yeah. Opening day and a swing and a miss. Boy, what a pretty performance early on here through 3 batters for Jamison Tyone. Let's head back to our North Shore studios for this TGI Friday spring break with Rob King and Michael McHenry.
Greg and Steve, thanks very much. You loved the way he filled up the strike zone there.
Bottom of the first inning here in Bradenton, Florida. Beautiful day. This is a spring break game, so we will be hearing a lot from Rob and Michael. We check out the RAV4 starting lineup. Josh Harrison, Jordy Mercer, Gregory Polanco. Then it's Bell, Marte, Dickerson, Moran, Diaz, and right away, pitch up and in. Josh Harrison took a little exception to being hit by a pitch early this spring on a breaking ball, and not too thrilled about that one.
Yeah, nobody likes the ball up around the head area, around the neck. First pitch that he sees. That's not much fun. We like the start of the top of the first inning better than the start of the bottom.
Shift is on. Second baseman is over. That's Ozzy Albies. So Harrison is retired on the ground out to the second baseman who is on the left side. And looking at Jordy Mercer with Gregory Polanco to follow. Then it's Josh Bell and Starling Marte hitting .423 this spring. Corey Dickerson, Colin Moran, the two new buccos, Elias Diaz and Jamison Tyone. This could be, and Clint Hurdle has been moving some guys around the lineup, mainly kept Harrison and Bell 1-4, but Mercer, who has said before he likes hitting eighth, which is unusual, but Clint Hurdle's trying to find the guy for that 2 spot, and where Polanco and Marte fit, maybe extending the lineup a bit with Dickerson hitting 6th and Moran 7th. All part of spring training for a manager, deciding what you're going to look for.
I guess if you wanted to, you could top load that lineup with Harrison, then go right to Polanco, Marte, Bell, and work down from the top 4, if you wanted to go in that direction.
Still a fairly crowded dugout. And whacked to left field by Mercer.
I guess you got to plug him in for that number 2 spot.
I think he likes that 2 spot.
Yeah. He wasn't telling us the truth about liking number 8, was he? Yeah. He's usually a pretty honest guy.
Aaron Blair. See the numbers last year in the minors, the Braves organization. Second season with the Braves. AAA Gwinnett in the rotation last year. 25 starts, team high for the G Braves. 1 start for Atlanta.
Pretty creative name, isn't it, for their AAA team, G Braves?
Yeah. Walt Weiss alongside Brian Snitker, as Weiss, former Rockies skipper, is now on the coaching staff for Snitker. Strike on Gregory Polanco, having a strong spring, a .360 batting average here in Florida. 9 hits and 23 at bats with a couple of home runs. Such a key for the Pirates this year. If they're going to score runs, they are going to need Polanco, not just healthy but productive. If you watched the games that we've had on AT&T Sportsnet, had a few of the dozen that we will be televising here in Florida, you notice more slender Polanco. Changed his workout regimen over the winter.
Yeah, we talk so much about the new guys in productive positions, if we will, the new guys at third and left field, but don't forget about Marte and Polanco. We certainly know what they're capable of. All we do is read about what the new guys at third and left are capable of.
They are certainly going to need a productive Polanco. Not just healthy. He spent too much time on the DL, and then when he was active, really didn't have the type of year Pirates were hoping. That's ripped. That's one of the things Polanco's been talking about. He thinks he's quicker now. And he's into second base with a double, second and third.
I kind of like this game so far. That ball was ripped, so 2 solid shots. Mercer then Polanco in business.
Again, Polanco turning on that pitch, ripping it to right. Something he didn't feel he was able to do last year. He drove in, you know, he doesn't get an RBI here, but he drove in 86 runs 2 years ago. Well, now Bell with the infield back. Josh Bell, 7 for 29, a .241 average with 1 home run in spring training. Coming off his fine rookie campaign. His 90 RBI season with 26 home runs. And played in 159 of the 162 game schedule. That was also impressive.
Impressive too for a young player. Pretty good sense of the strike zone of what he's trying to do. Was not afraid to go to the opposite field for a base hit. Didn't feel like he was committed to pulling every pitch that he saw. As David Arrigo looks on.
Team photographer for the Pirates.
Doesn't miss anything, David. He doesn't miss anything.
But Blair misses the strike zone, a 4-pitch walk, and they're loaded up now for Starling Marte. So, Steve, this is a real good, it's just spring training, meaningless, but the type, if the Pirates are going to win their share of games this year, they're going to need to take advantage of these situations. Bases loaded, they've got to find a way to score this run.
Yep.
I mean, Polanco doubles, Mercer to third, Bell walks to load them up. Now the infield at double play depth. You have to get at least one out of this. Marte, we showed you the graphic with that lineup hitting .423, 11 for 26 with 2 home runs. It's a good sign. One on Marte. Just a half a season last year because of the suspension.
Well, these are the kind of situations too. You love to see a gap shot. Everybody's running around. You get a chance to see Marte's speed, see what he could stretch out. Boy, Danny Santana is playing Marte really cheap in center field. There's a lot of room in back of him. Now we don't have the wind blowing out like it did the other day, but a lot of green in back of the center fielder.
And Marte strikes out. So bring up Corey Dickerson. Aaron Blair, after getting the first out, Harrison gave up that hard single to left. There you see not much of a breeze. Unusual here at Lecom. Well, Dickerson in his first spring in Pirates black and gold. 5 for 18 since joining the Pirates in a trade with the Tampa Bay Rays.
You know, it applies here too, whether it's spring training or a regular season. I don't care if you score 5 runs. You never like to leave the bases loaded. You can have a 5-run inning. You still want to bring those people in. You still want to add on. It's just it's a downer no matter how many you've scored to see those 3 guys left on base.
And for the opponent, it's a win.
Shot in the arm.
Corey Dickerson.
Yeah, one of the 2 guys we were mentioning earlier, Dickerson and Moran. Hoping to get the production out of those 2 positions.
Dickerson from Macomb, Mississippi. He's 28 years old, was a 29th round pick of the Colorado Rockies in 2009. Traded to Tampa Bay and an all-star last year for the first time with the Rays.
Good looking off-speed pitch from Blair. He actually threw Starling Marte a couple of really good breaking balls to get the strikeout. So he's trying to get into that situation you're talking about where he could walk off the mound leaving these runners. He's 1 pitch away.
1 and 2 on Dickerson. Pirates dealt Daniel Hudson and a minor league infielder to the Rays to get Dickerson. I was about to say that Dickerson has a reputation of offering at pitches out of the strike zone, one of those free swingers, trying to maybe cut back on strikeouts. Just gets a piece of that pitch from Blair.
Find some kind of way to put it in play.
And another foul. Pirates feel like Dickerson's got a chip on his shoulder. And maybe the team as a whole has a chip on its shoulder collectively, which can be a good thing. Something to prove. Dickerson, the All-Star last year with 27 homers. 24 homers for the Rays in 2016.
Anything you can think of to make the motor run hot.
A fly ball to right field. Oh, couldn't hold on. Tucker, a great diving effort. This is going to clear the bases, and a triple for Corey Dickerson. That ball held up forever. Preston Tucker, tremendous effort, and it's a 3-0 lead.
How about things turning around that quickly? Just a little lazy fly ball that he almost made a spectacular catch, didn't, and then kicked it far enough away for everybody to have a leisurely trot around the bases. There it goes. How about that bounce? Takes all the drama about scoring all three.
Former teammates in the Astros organization, Preston Tucker and Corey Dickerson. Colin Moran, rather, who's at the plate now. Corey Dickerson, who ends up with a 3-run triple. What yeah. Jarred his neck a little bit there, that dive. Mercer, Polanco, Bell score. And Colin Moran.
You don't even hate to leave a guy at third base, too, no matter how many you score.
You're just saying that, yeah.
Triples are fun to watch, no matter how they're created, so the fans had a little fun with that one.
$11 hits and 33 at bats for the new Pirates third baseman. A .333 batting average this spring for the former Astro. That's whacked toward right center, and Tucker will make this catch. Dickerson's ball, just a fly ball. Moran lines out to right. 3-0 Pirates.
making his way onto a new roster and having a little good time doing it. I'm Robbie Smikowski. Well, Joe Musgrove just left camp to spend the day with the Houston Astros on Monday, but he had special permission, and he went for a pretty good reason. The team spent the day with the White House, being honored for winning their first World Series in franchise history. He flew in Monday morning, came back that night. He said he didn't know what to expect, but very few people get a chance to do it, and it's pretty special to do it as a World Series champion. He said he didn't know what to expect when meeting President Trump. As we get a look here at the entire team around President Trump's desk, he said he didn't know what to expect. He expected him, Greg and Steve, to be a little bit, let's say, formal and businesslike. He said no, it was the total opposite. He went in, he was loose, he had a good time, and of course, they took some pretty cool photos. The first one was with him and his best friend on the team, Chris Davinsky, another pitcher, goofing around in the waiting room, so it looked like a good time was had by all. As for when he's going to get the ring, we don't know that date yet. The team is scheduled to get them on opening day in Houston on April 2nd, so Joe Musgrove is going to have some shiny new bling and had a good time on Monday in Washington, D.C., guys.
No doubt an honor for sure. And Bell on to Tyone. We're quick out to retire Rio Ruiz. Joe Musgrove against the Yankees, his first Grapefruit League appearance, and looks strong. Bunch of strikeouts.
Yeah, we've been anxious to see him work.
As things are going, the Pirates don't need a fifth starter until April the 8th, but looks like they might be targeting that April 5th game for Musgrove against the Cincinnati Reds. The way they would keep everybody on their five-day, I should say, rotation. Jamison Tyone will start, Steve, on Monday, April the 2nd.
The way he's going, you might not need 5 starters, just one. That's the first pitch he's missed the strike zone with, I believe.
Well, you can see Tyone working from the stretch.
Why?
Just a
bit
of a modified kind of wind-up.
Yeah, that's not really a stretch. A lot of guys are having that shortened set of mechanics. Justin Message, assistant pitching coach. You know, some guys will go to a little tighter, shorter
modified wind-up is what you call that.
Yeah.
Not just a a lot of guys have been doing that the last couple years. Tyler Glass now
has tried everything.
Yeah, went to that stretch last year late, and he is hoping to get back soon after missing a start with the case of that flu that was going around that clubhouse. This ball's fouled out of play by Ryan Schimpf. .96 from Tyone.
Not only modified and shortened up, but not much time in between pitches. He doesn't waste much time. He's ready to go, and I like that. I think that puts a little pressure on a hitter's routine. Didn't miss by much. The one thing about Tyone, I would think he is tired of answering questions about health. He would just like to talk about pitching all year long. Ask me about what's going on with pitching, not how I'm feeling. Working in that 94, 95, 96 mile an hour range. We've seen him faster.
He is a real student of the game and is constantly looking to get better, wants to be great. And at times he has been just that. First 3 starts last year, an 0.90 ERA. 97.
Number 3. Yeah, how about the first handful of games with Nova and Tyone last year? Right there's a little steamer, that 4-seam fastball, plenty of stuff on it. And we talked about the 2 fastballs he'll throw, the sinking fastball and the rider, and then a couple breaking balls. He'll throw a slider and he'll throw a curve. They are 2 different pitches. Sometimes you get them called different things.
He's also, Steve, been working to adjust these hitters. You know, the big thing these days, the last couple of years, is now this
launch angle.
And to counter that, show them something downstairs and now work up. 0-2.
For the life of me, I can't understand how they're teaching hitters to uppercut. For years, it used to be a level or you know, cutting across and a little bit down. But if they wanted to use an uppercut swing, just throw a lot of high fastballs.
Yeah,
it's
that's
tough.
what Tyon's talking about.
Yeah, it's tough to catch up with him.
Now, it'll be interesting here. He's out in front 0-2 on Danny Santana. Does he waste one, a breaking ball here, or does he go upstairs with another fastball, get him to chase? Yeah, he tried, and he will retire on a nice play. That's a tough play for Elias Diaz, negotiating the batting circle and the pine tar and the railing. And we are headed back to our North Shore studios for this TGI Friday spring break with Rob King and Mike. To Rob King and Michael McHenry. I think we'd have to call the fort Roy Hobbs, the natural.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, he is a natural behind the desk there with Rob. There's Joe Musgrove.
Seamless.
Strike is called on Elias Diaz. He was just talking, Michael McHenry was, about Diaz, that catch. He did have a lot going on over there and made it look easy.
A lot going on and not much height. Not much time to get over there.
A couple of home runs this spring. Figures to do a lot of the catching. We've talked about the Pirates' hopes that they're going to keep Francisco Cervelli healthy and off the disabled list, and in order to do that, Pirates are thinking that maybe Diaz catches more than just your typical backup catcher.
Former catcher Tom Prince looking on.
We're going to talk to Princey in a bit. There's a line drive, but caught by Carrera. He brings up Jameson Taillon. I'll take another look as that top of the second ended on this play.
Yep. Not much height, so he doesn't have much time. He's got to hustle over there, and then he's got a railing, he's got an on-deck circle, he's got some debris around there. Yep, that was a good commitment to get over there quick enough and just deal with all he might be stepping on. So far so good for the Pirate battery. Mr. Taillon, Mr. Diaz.
You see, Taillon was not an automatic out at the plate last year. Another thing he knows if he can work on just making a contribution here and there, that will help. He's retired by Hasmar.
The only thing we haven't talked about with Taillon is the changeup, and usually that's the last thing to really get perfected many times for a starter. It's a pitch you have to believe in and know it's going to be all right to throw the ball slower than you usually do. And he would, like every starter, to get a changeup that he could add to the repertoire. Of course, if you've got 4 good pitches, you don't need to go to that changeup all that much. Take a little speed off the curveball. That gives you something off speed to counteract the hard stuff. Josh got a lot of things going on with those forearms. He got the white sleeve with some decorations. He got the armor on the other side. Got the thing on the leg.
He does have a lot going on.
Yeah, it's busy. You got the shades. You got
very busy. He's got the shades.
He's got the big chain.
Yeah,
You got the shirt.
My gosh.
Not buttoned.
Very close to being a fair ball, called foul by the third base umpire, Chad Whitson.
Traditional type of belt for the uniform. Got that.
Umpiring crew: Whitson, Will Little, Chad Fairchild on the bases, and a Western Pennsylvania native, Jason Fiscani, the Latrobe native, behind the plate. Lives in Greensburg. We might have a first sometime this year. I think it would be a first for Jason Fiscani, rookie umpire, and Jeremy Rehack, the Murraysville native who makes his home in Cranberry. They could be umpiring the same time in the big leagues this year. 2-2 the count.
Another type of major league dream.
Yeah.
Watch out. They've got the screens extended down each line past the dugouts, but past there's still some rockets that can get in the stands. There we go again.
Here's Jay Hay.
Off the foot of, what is that? That's not
Kamara Barti, moving over from the first base coaching box, and coaching over at first base is I believe Omar Moreno.
Barti usually over at first.
Joey Cora likely over at Pirate City, a minor league complex. And Harrison, heck with that shift. I'll just whack it between the second baseman and the shortstop after all those foul balls. Jordy Mercer comes to the plate. He singled and scored last inning, and today's Barrel Automotive League leader stat, the shortstops that have played the most games in the National League since 2014. Brandon Crawford of the Giants, Jordy Mercer right behind him. And the Phillies, Freddie Galvis, Chris Owings of the Diamondbacks, and Adeiny Echeverria, the former Marlin, now with the Rays. Nice for a manager to know that just about every day, we talked about that with Josh Bell, the rookie, that you can pencil a guy in and count on him. That's underrated, Steve, I think.
It is. And, you know, when we go around, we speculate a lot of what's going on. We kind of pass over Mercer.
Yeah.
Because he's there, and we know he's there. We know he's capable, and we know he's consistent. Doesn't get hurt very often at all. Yeah, so that's a compliment when you don't talk as much about a guy like Jordy Mercer.
145 games played last year, 149 in 2016. Big lean there for Jay Hay.
Thinking he wants to take off.
Omar Moreno likes those big leads.
Yep.
One of the great base stealers, and no secret, you talk to the great base stealers, they'll tell you that you can't steal unless you're unafraid, aggressive, and this pass ball gets Harrison to second.
And you wonder if there might have been a little distraction of Harrison. The catcher takes a quick look, and it costs him sometimes.
Here's Omar, former Pirate great base stealer, center fielder.
Would they call him the Antelope and Sanguine was the Road Runner?
Yep.
Something like that. Everybody had a nickname.
Heck, we saw the original Road Runner, Ralph Garr.
Yeah. So
former
good to see
great
him.
All-Star Atlanta Brave. He is traveling with the team today and to Bradenton over from Orlando.
You talk about energy and a really, really great personality, Ralph Garr.
And a walk brings up Gregory Polanco. Yeah, Ralph Garr in 1974 hit .353, known as the Road Runner. Played for the Braves early part of his career, late 60s into the 70s. In that 1974 season, Al Oliver was second in the batting race, hit .321 behind the eventual champion Ralph Garr. Richie Zisk was in the top 10, another former Pirate. But we asked Ralph Garr about facing you, Steve, and I said, oh, come on, you had to hit, what, 400 against Blass? And there's a stolen base with 2 outs. Harrison steals and no throw from Ron Brantley. I was kidding, of course, and Ralph Garr said, oh my gosh, Blass was, no, he said Blass was one of the tougher pitchers that I've ever faced. He said that whole staff was tough, and you had to score a lot of runs against that offense. But you went up and you had a chance to chat with Ralph Garr.
I did. I appreciate you pointing him out down there, and I went down, and he gave me the biggest hug, and he didn't ask me, how the pitching base. He says, how's your family? I mean, and it was he's so genuine.
Yep.
And it's all legit with Ralph Garr. It's all legit. Full of energy. He was a personality when he came up to the big leagues. A live wire, spark plug, however you want to describe those kind of guys, but he was able to bring it for the Braves. 353. That is some kind of an impressive batting average to lead the league in hitting. There aren't too many 350 hitters around.
No.
He talked to everybody. I don't know how old he is, but I tried to catch my breath when he gave me a hug. In great shape.
Popped up. And that breeze, just enough to bring it back. So Polanco fouls out. Ryan Schimpf stays with it. Back to the North Shore Studios for this TGI Friday Spring Break with Rob King and Michael McHenry.
breaking curveballs?
You know, I think guys just kind of get carried away with talk. You know, they'll say a slurve or a slutter or a cutter. They use all types of different terminology nowadays, but I think if it's going side to side in a very short break, it's a cutter. If it's got a little bit more, it's a slider. And if it's got more of a slurve action, you know, 2 to 7 or 2 to 8 on a clock, or if it's 12 to 6, I think that's more of a curveball. We've seen Tyon throw some really good curveballs today.
Yeah, he's got a good one, and you know, no matter what it is, if you can get a curveball over, any kind of breaking ball over, Michael, you as a catcher know more than anybody. In a hitter's count, like a 3-1 count or a 2-0 count, if you can get a breaking ball over, that gives, I think, the pitcher a leg up on that particular delivery.
Absolutely, and I love you saying that it gave you the ability to throw a breaking ball for more consistency. The slider is, in my opinion, one of the best pitches besides the changeup to get in the zone. That curveball is more of a pitch to be in and out of the zone. Tyon's actually thrown it backdoor some, and it's been really effective as a strike pitch. But it breaks so much, it's hard to throw for a strike. So I love the slider as a very hard strike pitch.
Risking going too long here. I don't know whether I have time to throw this in there. But, Steve, you talk about different shapes of pitches. Would you do that with your slider, or were you seeking the same type of movement every time you threw it?
I wanted consistency with the slider. I wanted to throw it the same way every time, and I wanted to throw it away to right-hand hitters, and I wanted to throw it into the lefties and tie them up. Every once in a while you can get that backdoor slider in. But also, Michael, I want to make the point that with this day and age, with the hitters starting their swing so early, they don't see a curveball spin. A good cut fastball will fool them a little bit because they're thinking automatically fastball when their swing is already in motion. Now you get that little slide out. So to me, I think it gives the pitcher the advantage that they're swinging early. They're starting their swings early, thinking fastball. I think that makes the slider even more effective.
I love it. I couldn't agree more. I think it's a great pitch. I think it needs to be utilized more, especially for soft contact in good situations. Jeff Carson's one of my favorite guys I caught in a Pittsburgh uniform. He used to use it as his ground ball inducing pitch, and it's because a lot of guys would wrap around it and hit right to the shortstop. I love it.
And there's the curveball for called third strike. Loving that.
Right on cue.
And we'll head right back to our North Shore studios. TGI Friday spring break. Rob and Michael.
Yeah.
Away, whatever's
Ride it.
working that day, and you ride it. Exactly right.
I wonder how much, I guess we get into this at some point, but Michael's thoughts regarding the relationship between the catcher and the pitcher, because I'm fascinated by listening to you, Steve, and Bob, two former pitchers, two different eras, and talking to some pitchers now and catchers about what seems to be a major shift in terms of, you know, whose game is it, as Bell goes deep the other way, opposite field for Josh Bell, greeting the new lefty pitcher and batting right-handed. The home run for Josh Bell, a line drive home run off of Mike Mader to give the Pirates a 4-0 lead.
Welcome, Mike. And yeah, the breeze has picked up a little bit. That was wind aided, but he got he was going to get at least 2 bases because he's that strong, and it was well hit to right center field, but the wind helped it carry, and you get a quick point.
A line drive just clears that right center field wall for Josh Bell, his second home run of the spring. And Starling Marte.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to whenever you get a chance in the setting as you watch this ball just over the yellow line, you talk to a catcher away from the game, you have a chance to hash out some things and different thoughts come along. It's really fun to get their perspective. You're out there on the mound and you're trying to do this and trying to do that. You got to understand. You're trying to understand what your catcher's thinking too.
Once Josh Bell knows it's a home run, he can take the time to pick up that helmet.
Don't lose your head just because you hit it over the fence.
But I thought that was interesting that Michael McHenry talking to you about, and Rob bringing up all those sliders, but 9 in a row.
Yeah.
And Michael saying 30 changeups in one game. I mean, in this day and age, especially with younger pitchers, they're relying on the catcher.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep throwing down the 3 for the slider, right?
Yep. And
do they do that as much?
It's hard to believe. In that particular scenario, you're wondering what the catcher is doing with all those same pitches. But if it's working, you'll run with him. He's on your side. He's rooting for you.
Yeah. Shortstop gonna throw on to first, but Starling Marte will reach on the errant throw by Kazmar.
Well, it's great talking with Michael too, because when I talked with Manny Sanguillen, he would talk in Spanish and I would listen in English. So that Michael, that helps a lot.
Corey Dickerson.
Your catcher is your best friend. Is your best friend.
Tripled in 3 in the first, off the glove of Preston Tucker, right fielder.
You know, there's another thing I want to discuss with Michael too. It's the subject of the strike zone. We'll get a chance to do that, but we'll keep that in mind.
Michael Mader. Aaron Blair went 2. Michael McHenry maybe could talk to you about that, Steve.
Yeah, Mike, I had a subject I'd like to introduce with you too. As a catcher, early in the ball game, you like to think of what the strike zone is going to be. You like to think about how pitchers are going to operate. But how important is it for you as a catcher to learn the umpire's strike zone as early as possible? That's going to be part of a foundation, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I wish they gave us their numbers, to be honest with you. It's illegal and we don't get them. But at the end of the day, I want to figure it out. It may work with my starter. It may not. But it's going to work at some point. So if he's given off away, a lot of times the right-handed hitter, they're on my left side, left-handed hitter, they're on my right side. So I want to see kind of where their zone is and figure out how can I get a little extra on this side of the plate, a little extra on this side of the plate. Like I said, it may not work for the starter. Maybe he doesn't pitch down and away very well. That's where he's giving it. But later in that game, I guarantee you I'll have a guy that can really pound that part of the zone, and I'll be able to utilize it.
Yeah, I guess you would have to, as a catcher, convey it to all your pitchers. Hey, listen, he's not giving you that corner. He's not giving you the outside. You've got to work with him until you either get it or you might have to use it as long as you're out there, because it's not your strike zone, Mr. Pitcher. It's the umpire's strike zone.
Absolutely. I always used to say to these guys, hey, let me deal with the umpire. You just pitch. Don't worry about the umpire.
That covers it. End of any questions your pitchers might have. They need to hear that stuff.
Absolutely.
Corey Dickerson retired. Marte was off on the pitch, so he is at second. Brings up Colin Moran. Moran lined out to the right fielder Tucker in the first. Pop up, gonna drop. Gonna score a run, maybe. Off balance throw, not gonna get Marte. And Moran, who lined out sharply to right field in the first, drops a single into left, and the Pirates up 5-0.
How about that RBI? Maybe what?
That's baseball.
120 feet.
And it all evens out, Steve.
It does.
That line drive out to right should have been an RBI single. He'll take this one. Marte scoring easily. Elias Diaz lined out. His first AB. Bucks with 3 in the first on 3 hits. And here in this third inning, a line drive home run the other way by Josh Bell. An error charge to Kazmar. The ball hit by Marte. Winding down spring training, heading toward the home stretch. 2 weeks from yesterday's opening day in Detroit against the Tigers, and 2 weeks from this Monday, the home opener against the Twins at PNC Park. Oh boy, Elias Diaz crushes this ball way over the left field wall. His third, 7-0.
And that one was not wind aided. He got all of it. I don't know if he was expecting or guessing that pitch, Greg, but he did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Right off that Holiday Inn Express.
Not known as a home run hitter, but when I do, I stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Right, exactly.
But he does have the power. We've said it a lot over the last few years, even though the numbers won't show it. When he does connect, it's impressive.
Bucks piling it down a little bit, trying to break out of this little 3-game skid they've been on, looking for a W.
And I would think, Steve, that this is about the time when managers, organizations, they really do want you to start tightening things up. You are toward the home stretch. You're starting to trim the roster, so you're going to play your regulars more. Today we talked about this as a starting lineup in here. Maybe not opening day, but on a lot of nights, the 8 guys in this lineup today are going to be out there a lot during the regular season. So you want to see them play strong defense, base running, timely hitting.
Yep, I agree. It's the middle of March. Time to start getting ready.
When you're less than 2 weeks away, it's time. Still 49 players in Major League camp. They've got to get down to 25 for opening day. They have started to trim the roster. You start to see these pitchers go deeper in ball games. Saw what Nova went, was it 5 the other day?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See how many Tyone can go, and the starters will get extra at-bats. Jamison Tyone draws the walk, and here Clint Hurdle yell, "Great eye." Well, the Bucks return to Pittsburgh again on Monday, April 2nd. 132nd home opener in Pittsburgh Pirates history against the Twins, an American League team coming to town for Interleague Baseball 105. All fans get a Pirates wall calendar plus a magnetic schedule presented by PNC Bank. Make sure you head to the North Shore early for all the opening day festivities out on Federal Street, and get to PNC Park for all the pregame festivities. Tickets available at pirates.com. Don't miss it.
Greg, we'll have a moment too. Want to send a shout out up to Pittsburgh. Our head security man down here, Mike Orsini. Best wishes to his mom, great Pirate fan. And I'm sorry, Mrs. Orsini, your son told me your first name, but I have let it go. So, Mrs. Orsino, from your son Mike and the rest of us, how you doing?
Buffalo native Mike, I'm thrilled about the Bulls pulling off the upset last night. How about that? Nobody expected UB to upset Arizona, but they did. Crushed them. Jay Hay takes 1 ball, 1 strike. Also,
you got a lot of friends that enjoyed that.
Oh yeah. Also a big hello to I think Denning Gearhart probably liked that. Denning is watching us in Clearfield, longtime Pirates fan. Has made it to a lot of spring trainings, but this ball gets away. Tyone will trot to second. So wishing Denning the best. Pass ball, another one charged to Ron Brantley.
Not Bob Brenly, but
right.
Brantley.
Or Jeff Brantley.
Yeah.
Former pitcher and color analyst of the Cincinnati Reds. Bob Brenly, color analyst for the Diamondbacks, their former skipper. Jay Hay lifts one to right. Tucker makes the catch.
I was looking to see if Jamison Tyone might tag up and go to third base. Not.
Yeah, with 1 out, not going to risk it, and Brian Snitker is going to go to the bullpen. Michael Mader will get 2 outs, and he'll give way to another reliever for these Atlanta Braves. Pirates leading 7-0. Elias Diaz and Josh Bell with home runs. And let's go back to our North Shore studios for this TGI Friday spring break with Rob King. Stuff 7-0 Pirates lead. There is Josh Bell. Bucks batting in the bottom of the third.
Meanwhile, back at the fort, Michael's got it figured out.
Yeah. Matt Whistler, the new pitcher. Steve, there was a rumor that they were going to bring back the golf carts with the hats.
Yeah, the hat models.
Design.
Yep, they used that back in our World Series, I know.
The Diamondbacks say they are doing it, and I don't know if other teams will follow.
I don't know what that would do.
Did you ride those golf carts at all?
I never rode one.
From the bullpen?
No, but there was a story about our bullpen hat was supposed to be shipped to Baltimore for the World Series and
didn't make it.
Didn't make it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
who was telling us that? Larry Richard, I think, was telling us.
I guess you were a starter, so you wouldn't have needed to take that ride in from the bullpen.
But I would love to see him return because I'd like to see, you know, instead of a pierogi race or that sort of thing, you could have Jared Hughes racing against the hat cart.
That's right. Guys like Jared Hughes don't really need it, but they're looking at different ways to speed up the game and add a little color, bring back those colored cap.
Yeah, they had the team
golf
colors.
Carts.
Yeah. What they used to come in, the guy would get out and throw his hat to the bat boy or something. Yeah, it was kind of a ritualistic thing.
Jordy Mercer has singled and walked and scored a run. Bucks and Braves. Bucks stay here for tomorrow's game. Back on AT&T Sportsnet as the Pirates host the Twins tomorrow, the team that they will be hosting in the home opener on Monday, April 2nd. And Mercer is retired on the ground ball to Schimpf. 4 in. Couple of home runs. 7-zip.
Jamison Tyone getting set to work on a 7-0 lead here at Lecom Park. Well, Jamison Tyone obviously is passionate about baseball, but he's also passionate about something else in his life. I'm talking about coffee. So much so that he created his own blend this past offseason. It's called the Lending Hearts Blend, and it's sold at his favorite coffee place, and it's in the Strip District, Commonplace Coffee. Now, proceeds benefit the Lending Hearts. It's a local charity that supports young adults and teenagers with cancer. It's a really neat gesture by a guy like Jamison Tyone, who's really young, more mature beyond his young years in terms of his age. So I asked Stephen Brault, He's tried that coffee quite a bit along with Chad Kuhl and a couple other of his teammates. And I said, well, what do you make of JMO's new blend, being that he created the whole thing? He said, well, it fits his personality perfect. Now, Greg and Steve, you want to know what words he used to describe the coffee that fit Jameson Taillon's personality? He said it's dark and it's nutty. It fits JMO perfectly, just like you'd expect Jameson Taillon's coffee to be.
And we had suggested to JMO that he call it JMO Java, but I don't think he went with that.
No,
he seemed to like the idea for the winner, but
it fits.
Yeah.
By the way, it'd be nice to maybe send something up to the booth for us to try.
Yep, we could really promote it.
We'll put our coffee man Bob Walk on the
he can rate
control.
it.
Yep.
Jameson Taillon passionate about of course pitching on the mound, and as Robbie said, this ball's hit deep, and that's going to leave the yard. That's a boardwalk blast for Ozzie Albies. He's one of those young, talented players that the Braves believe will help lead them in the next couple of years to division title. It's his first home run of the spring.
And the first base runner for the Braves. Well, not a base runner. He never stopped.
First home run for Albies, and they're on the board against Jameson Taillon.
He's comfortably into his fourth inning.
And he comes back with that fastball up to Carrera. Last week, the Taylor Hooton Foundation announced that Jameson Taillon would join their advisory board of active players throughout Major League Baseball. The advocacy group against performance-enhancing drugs, and they've got the T-shirts for all of their board members. All me, PED free. Train hard, eat right, play fair on the other side. And this ball, broken bat pop up, weakly hit, and Jay Hay makes the play. There's the shirts that these advisory board members are given. The Taylor Hooton Foundation, they do great work trying to really educate the youth in our country through PSAs and lending their images to some of print form, part of the campaign, educational activities. Most effective ways to educate young people about the dangers of anabolic steroids and other appearance and performance enhancing drugs. Don Hooton started that Taylor Hooton Foundation, named for his son who got involved in the PEDs and steroids and ended up committing suicide. And you might recall a lot of years ago his passion behind his congressional appearance. Preston Tucker at the plate.
Did we have that gentleman in the booth as a guest, Greg, at one point?
Yes, we've had Don Hooton and his son Don Jr.
Yep.
And there is ball 4 to Preston Tucker.
Early on, 9 up, 9 down, as Jameson Taillon works here in the fourth inning. You would think with his efficiency early on that maybe go 5, hopefully. Clean up this top of the fourth.
Good breaking ball there from Taillon.
I have a special affinity for that curveball. I just love to see the way he throws it. It's a good one. It's the old traditional hook down, that good downward movement, not so flat across.
Line drive, nice play. Boy, Jordy Mercer. And a nice play on the other end by Bell. Mercer's throw off the mark to try and double up the runner, Tucker.
A terrific play. And taking a shot. Probably had that in his mind the minute he realized he had the ball. Let's maybe take a shot without even looking, taking time to look, and just in case. He got careless, but Bell saved him. An error.
A couple of hard hit balls here off of Tyone in the fourth after breezing through three. Steve, you're talking about the curveball moments ago. You're talking about it with Michael McHenry, the slider. And for a guy like Tyone, who knows he is in the rotation, one of the 5 starters, the things that you're working on, he's got, after today, a couple more starts before the season gets underway. So what is he trying to do?
Well, he's trying to, first of all, get innings in. So get the work in. That's the base. But he might be out there in a particular inning or a couple of these starts. Okay, I'm going to really lean on the curveball. I want to get that feel. I want to get that confidence, or I want to work on the slider, or maybe some changeup work. Remember, last spring was the spring of the changeup.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, he has the luxury of doing that. He knows he's got a job. He knows everything's going to be okay no matter what happens. So he could work on a given pitch for an inning or 2 or 3 innings and get knocked all around the ballpark, trying to find that feel that he wants to have with it. So yeah, he has that luxury because of his status with the ball club to do that. Maybe in this start we've seen some curveballs. I haven't seen all that many sliders. Of course, my definition of slider is a little different.
Yeah, we talked about that with Michael, right?
He might have thrown some that I don't realize that are just kind of fastballs. But you see these guys cut this fastball more and have more speed than we had on some of our sliders, because they're so close to the true fastball with just a little cut. So you see that kind of gray area. But yeah, he has the luxury of working on things.
By the way, that last shot that Pete Thomas showed you of Clint Hurley, you might have seen the coaches that sit along that bench. That is Grady Little. If you're wondering what it looks like, Grady Little, he is a special assistant in baseball operations, has been with the Pirates now for a couple of years, the former Red Sox and Dodgers manager. There's Grady Little, a great baseball man. And out comes another great baseball man, the pitching coach, Ray Searage, who was, I believe, at Pirate City earlier today and now here with the Pirates.
Uncle Ray. You know, there's another guy. I don't know if he's still with us or not, but I did some guest instructor work for a couple of years, and former Brave was
Mike Lum. He's still there. Oh yeah.
What a terrific gentleman. What a great baseball ambassador he is. Mike Lum is a neat person. So ever have a chance to run across Mike Lum, you'd be impressed. Low key, not a lot of headlines these days, but as decent a person as you're going to run across.
Former teammate of a guy we were talking about earlier, Ralph Garr.
Yep.
The Braves.
Yeah, I pitched against Mike.
After the walk, this breaking ball misses. Danny Santana at the plate. Couple of walks in the inning.
And just going back to Ray Searage out there too, that could have been a two-way conversation. Hey, what do you want to do here? Have you had enough? You want to go some more? You want to try something else? You can always work down the bullpen later on if you've had enough out there now.
Keep working, baby.
Yep.
Diaz was thinking to throw to second.
The old Al Davis thing. Just win, baby.
Yeah. And Steve, as the season gets underway, you're you're geared toward 100, hopefully 100 plus pitches. He's now closing in on 50. Did you notice that as you built up, that as you got to just about like 50 in your third start, that you can start to tire? It does take the build up.
Oh yeah,
you need the build up.
Yeah,
right.
And you want to get to that point where you're tired. Okay, now I can handle this, and maybe I can try to do a little pitching in spite of the fact that I'm tired. So that's a good point, because it's all part of a process to feel your way along and get there somehow, and experience a lot of stuff in your various starts in spring training. There's a strike, and one of the things that was kind of a mile marker for me was to get past 20 innings in spring training. That's not a big issue anymore. So there's different ways of getting to the point where you feel, but it's not all bad to be out there when you're tired and still try to throw pitches.
And here's a 3-2 count, first and second. There's a reliever up, just about winding down his day. He'd love to finish it off with an out. And will Dickerson get to it? That's a tough play, and he will. Yep. Corey Dickerson came to the Pirates with a reputation of maybe just an average to maybe below average, but we've seen this guy. He's not a burner, but he can make the plays out and left.
That was a great effort.
Yeah.
Wheel drive RAV 4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
Back here in the friendly city of Bradenton and Lecom Park, where the Pirates are leading 7-1 over the Atlanta Braves. We're joined by Pirates bench coach Tom Prince. Tom Prince, who not very familiar with this Bradenton area. Is this your first trip into Bradenton, Tom?
First time I've been here in a long time.
Princey makes his home now here, the longtime Pirate coach, manager, and bench coach for the Bucks. We asked Clint Hurdle, we asked the coaches, Neil Huntington, just to give us just your thoughts of this particular spring, Tom. What do you think of this one?
Every spring's got little different niches and stuff like this. We've had a blast so far. Obviously, you want to win more games. That's the name of the game here, and it's getting to that point in spring training. These guys are busting their butts and doing everything we need to do.
You're not hoping for any drama, really, are you, when you think about these 6 weeks?
No. Nope, just get through it healthy.
Tom, your thoughts about Jamison Tyone this afternoon?
Hey, he's really pitched in very good, Steve. They set a game plan. He was really pitching in 4-seamers, and he was going to try to mix in some 2-seamers. A couple strikeouts on the breaking ball, but really threw the ball well.
So that kind of going in, looking to pound some people inside, maybe that a little mini project for this particular start?
Yeah, Walt Weiss, their bench coach, gives us their lineup, so they had a chance to look at some things, and they said all the lefties and what they want to work on, and gives the catcher a chance to go with the game plan, and it worked out.
You still like that curveball, don't you? That Jamison Tyone curveball, in spite of working inside, but it's fun to watch him when he really takes a little speed off and spins it that well.
Oh, yeah. They don't get a very good look at it seems like.
Now, is he done for the day?
He's got one more. He's supposed to go 5.
Okay. So pretty efficient the first 3, so that helps.
3-2 on Polanco, and there's a high drive to right center field.
Got
Tucker
enough.
back. Did he get enough? He
Yes,
did. Polanco. Maybe we can ask Tom Prince about this kind of new look, old look of Gregory Polanco. Tom, I think Gregory Polanco heard all the talk of people about fans, media, whatever, that this guy needs to hit more home runs. So he, last offseason, bulked way up and realized, especially with the injuries, that maybe he's better suited, as he gets the high five from Tom Prince, but better suited to be the guy that we saw when he first came to the big leagues, and he thinks he could be quicker to pitches like that. What do you think?
There's no doubt. These guys have been working hard. Brando and them guys get them going, and they're starting to see some benefits. The hitters are starting to catch up to the pitching again. It's normal spring training. They started breaking out breaking balls probably about a week ago, so that slows everything down again. And now they're all catching up.
Here's Josh Bell, who hit the line drive home run as a right-handed hitter his last time up. Elias Diaz homered in the 3rd. And now Polanco launches one to give the Pirates this 8-1 lead. Talking to Pirates bench coach Tom Prince as we wind down. We're heading toward the home stretch, and Princey was talking about how now it's relatively early, Tom, but really with less than 2 weeks left, you really do now, and the team's starting to take shape. Pitchers going longer, regulars in the game longer. This is really when you do want to try and, if not win games, but really tighten up everything, correct?
No doubt. It's time to start playing the games just like you do it. Every game's a competitive game as you get it closer to the season.
Bell will be retired.
Also, Tom, some new guys, a left fielder, a third baseman that you're going to see on a regular basis. A guy like Musgrove. You're in the middle of March now. You get more of a feel for these guys personality-wise and how they approach things, not just the nuts and bolts.
No nonsense. That was the one thing I took away from him as soon as I met him. You could just tell there's a presence about him, what he went through last year, coming back from the White House, how he pitched yesterday, how he goes about his business every day. Corey sliding out there in left field, making a hell of a play. These guys are ready to play.
That's step number 1, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Those are productive positions. We're looking to learn about them and see how they make their fit.
Starling Marte reached on an error his last time up. Pirates up 8-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. With Corey Dickerson, Tom Prince just talked about that really nice catch of Dickerson, who he's got. Is it fair to say you think, Princey, that a lot of these guys and maybe the team as a whole has a kind of a chip on its shoulder, which could really be a good thing?
It's always a good thing when you got a chip on your shoulder. I do believe that. They're going in there, they're ready to make something happen.
After Dickerson, it is Colin Moran and then Elias Diaz. Tom Prince, the longtime catcher, a lot of years with the Pirates. And Elias Diaz, tell us a little bit about him, Tom. You've been watching him since he came to the Pirates organization. Elias Diaz.
Something that he's made himself into a major league player. It's been fun to watch the growth. The tools were obviously there. We were in a meeting today and he spoke in English to everybody. When I first met him, he could barely speak any English at all. So to see the growth as the person first, and then to see what he's doing behind the plate, and obviously offensively with the homer tonight, but the arm stops everybody. He's active behind the plate. You're looking for pickoffs. He's getting in tune with all the pitchers. He's learning them, figuring out what makes them go. That's the hardest part of catching at the major league level. He got a great opportunity last year. He made the most of it. In the spring, you're seeing a more relaxed person, and just the way he goes about his business. But somebody that's worked, persevered, has been very rewarding.
Corey Dickerson at the plate with 2 outs, a run in, and maybe we can just finish up with Tom asking a former catcher your thoughts about have you noticed anything different regarding the limit for catchers and teams for mound visits, a limit of 6 per 9 innings? Have you noticed anything this spring different about it?
Maybe a little bit of the hesitation on the catcher to go out early. Maybe when a pitcher needs somebody to talk to, it's not going his way. And we've told him, hey, don't change anything. Go out when you feel you need to go out. Just obviously, as you get to the later innings, you want to have a couple of those in your back pocket. I think the most we got to is 4.
Do you think, Tom, that whole scenario will get abused at any point with catchers trying to sell it that somebody crossed them up or any of those kind of things?
Well, the way the rules are stated, that it doesn't matter if you have not used your 6 and you have to go change signs, then that will count against you. If you have used your 6 and you talk to the umpire and you say, hey, he crossed me up there, but they don't want the umpires getting hurt either. Nice play, get there.
Wow.
Oh, I'd replay it. You never know. Tell you right now,
That's right.
There's a lot of stuff that's replay right now that we can't do, but
That's
that
right.
would be one to look at.
We'll give him a double at our scorebook. Princey, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
And let's head back to our North Shore studios for this TGI Friday spring break with Rob.
Good this team could really be.
Greg and Steve?
And thank you, Rob and Michael. Maybe we can keep you guys there for a second because we had broached this subject, but we didn't get Michael's response to this whole catcher-pitcher relationship and whose game is it? It seems more and more the last several years that it's more on the catcher than it is the pitcher, but talk to Steve Blass or Bob Walk, they'll say, you know, it was my game. So, Michael, whose game is it?
You know, I think it's the pitcher's game. He's got to take ownership and have a really good idea what he wants to do. When I first got called up to the big leagues, most of the veteran guys left a note card on my seat and said, this is how I want to pitch every hitter. This is what I want to strike them out with. When I get in trouble, this gets me back. And then I'd give them my response. And then we created a relationship and banter back and forth as the game went on to make adjustments as needed.
Can I throw in another level, guys? Because you asked whether it's a pitcher's game or a catcher's game. But don't we see more and more, too, especially young catchers looking over to the dugout, maybe getting some signals from somebody on the coaching staff that wants to call a pitcher, too?
Heck, as a matter of fact, I've seen guys, I think David Ross, the veteran catcher, used to have, and some of these are having the quarterback sleeves with the numbers and what they want to throw in a certain situation. You've seen that? I mean, that's
Pretty soon they're going to go into the catcher's helmet.
Scripted, yeah.
I said that the other day. I love it.
You know, I will make this point. When I came up to the big leagues, it was my catcher's game until I learned more and got evolved into being a somewhat veteran pitcher. Then
So
it
you relied a
evolved
lot more on the catcher.
into a pitcher's game because I felt like I knew what I wanted to do primarily. But when I was just starting out at the big league level, I really leaned on the catcher. I very seldom tried to shake anybody off. The only time I had an issue was the first start I had. I was into the 5th inning because and told Smokey Burgess I had a breaking ball because the Dodgers were a running team. All he wanted to have me throw was the fastballs to give him a shot.
Hey, Smokey, I do have a breaking ball.
I got a breaking ball, Smokey. It's the 5th inning.
That's great.
Michael, though, that to Steve's point there, so here's Elias Diaz catching Tyone, a younger catcher, and of course Tyone's still very young in terms of experience in the big leagues. But if you have a veteran type catcher, and Cervelli, I guess, would be defined as a veteran now, could that intimidate a younger pitcher and affect his game? There's such a balance there.
There is a balance, but I think if the catcher, which I know Cervelli does, he takes that empathy approach. He lets these guys know, I'm here for you. You have to almost be an offensive lineman as a catcher, not wanting the credit. Honestly, if you make a mistake, the only thing that people are going to know is, hey, you made a mistake. If nobody says anything to you, you did your job great that day as a catcher, just like an offensive lineman or a center on a football team. You're just going to help any way you can. But the biggest job for a catcher and these guys is seeing the ball, understanding what the ball is doing, help them get back in the zone, maybe a couple cues here and there with your glove, or maybe even a voice, whatever you have to do to help that guy compete on that day.
Yep, and be a psychologist. Yeah,
Amen.
Be his best friend, and sometimes a kick in the pants as well as a pat on the shoulder.
Exactly. You have to know that human being. How does he tick? What does he need? That's what you give him.
Boy, Jameson Town gives the Pirates 5 strong innings, and we'll keep it there in the studios with this TGI Friday spring break. Rob and Michael.
Well,
You're rooting for him, and you want him to be there, and you believe in him as a catcher too. And I'll go back to Milt May. Milt May was a young catcher coming up, and I still believe Milt May was one of the better catchers that never caught as much for us as he should have, and had a great career, maybe one of the more underrated catchers around the National League. But I wanted to make sure he felt all right about working with me, and I wanted to let him know that I was looking forward to working with him. And I thoroughly enjoyed the times and the days that I pitched to Milt May.
Isn't it interesting to hear the relationship between the pitcher and the and by the way,
it's important.
It is important, and we'll I'm sure get back to that. But as you can see, it's cooled off a little bit, so it's light jacket wet. Oh. I guess it's colder than I thought. My goodness.
You're talking about those football players with things on their wrists. I thought, I want to get some kind of a microphone in my hoodie here.
Anna Maria Island heavy sweatshirt with the hoodie.
Yep, promote Bradenton
Yes,
and the
sir.
Island Beaches.
Just to double check this temperature. Right now it is currently in Bradenton 69 degrees.
No, it's not in this booth.
You're right. It's 67. I apologize.
Okay, they're getting ready to pitch here,
Yep.
Greg.
Here we go back to go back to the studios in a moment. See what Michael and Rob have to think about that. There's a ground ball to first. Colin Moran is retired to begin this bottom of the fifth, and Jameson Tyone 5 solid innings. Good to see. Here is Elias Diaz. We're just talking to Tom Prince about this Pirates backup catcher, Elias Diaz, who last time up hit the home run deep over the left field wall, displaying some of that power that he has.
There's folks with jackets and sweaters, long sleeve shirts there.
Actually T-shirts there.
Yeah, well, they don't get it. They want to come prepared.
Yep. Boy, look at that young fan without a heavy sweatshirt. Parka.
Shame on their folks that don't bring them a jacket to the ballpark. Just trying to promote the area.
We do every day here. The pictures that we're giving you. Sunshine, blue skies. Look out, that ball was absolutely blistered. Wow.
Might have hit that as hard as he hit the home run.
Whistled past Whistler, and now Adam Frazier. Take another look at this.
Boy, that would scare Whistler's mom.
Yes. At least at the start of the season, this could be the role for Adam Frazier. Now that Corey Dickerson, acquired from Tampa Bay. Frazier hitting .385 this spring with 10 hits and 26 at bats, including 1 home run and 5 walks, which is tied for the team lead. Intriguing lefty possibility out of the bullpen. Josh Smoker will be next for the Pirates. Hammered to right center field by Frazier. A line drive off the wall. Frazier into second base with a double.
Well, a little bit more height, and the Pirates would have had their 4th tater. That ball was smoked. So, a couple shots off bats of Pirates. The ball Diaz hit got caught. Wow, this one got out to the wall in a hurry. On it. Crack of the bat.
Line drive, double off the wall for Adam Frazier.
Because it got to the wall so quickly, he had to hustle into second base.
Josh Harrison 1 for 3. Jay singled in the second. Braves coming over to Bradenton for a second time. Pirates went over to Orlando a couple of times this spring. They'll finish up their spring training meetings today, and the regular season Bucks will make a trip to SunTrust Park in Atlanta. And of course, the Braves will come to Pittsburgh one time. That'll be in August. As the season begins for real in less than 2 weeks. Pirates in Detroit against the Tigers 2 weeks from yesterday. Hard breaking pitch. No swing. Josh Harrison, a two-time All-Star. One of the more exciting players in the game.
I wonder if he knows Ralph Garr or about Ralph Garr, because they have similar approaches, similar personalities, similar passion. And that's a compliment to both of them. It'd be great to be a fly on the wall if Josh Harrison and Ralph Garr had a chance to sit down and talk about ball.
And he's safe. Ball in the dirt, and Ruiz could not handle that throw.
Got to be an error on somebody.
He won. Instead of a third out, the inning continues with Jordy Mercer.
Nice turn to get to the ball, and then threw him a good sinker. Good two-seamer here.
Well, Jay Hay aboard. Here's Ralph Garr. A great hitter.
Tough out.
6-4 put out. Kazmar to Albies. Bucks up big. 8-1.
Sportsnet is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Here in Bradenton, the Pirates up 8-1 through 5 innings over the Atlanta Braves. Pirates have a special Buck of the Irish deal for you this St. Patrick's Day tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Get $17 off tickets to any April game in select seating areas. Just use the code SHAMROCK. Find out more about tomorrow's offer at pirates.com/lucky. 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. A special Buck of the Irish deal for you.
Yeah,
St. Patrick's Day
it
tomorrow.
all fits. 17th, 17 bucks.
And we'd like to thank that gentleman for dressing up early. We could get a shot of him. Here is Josh Smoker facing Ozzie Albies. He turns on this pitch. Albies drives one deep out of here.
Just getting ready to say, Josh Smoker, 5 appearances covering 5 innings, has not given up a run. That has just changed.
Second home run for Albies.
Long ball today.
Yeah, he hit one from the other side of the plate in the 4th inning off Tyone. A 2-homer game for Ozzie Albies. And let's go downstairs to Robbie and J-Mo.
I do have J-Mo right here, so we're going to talk baseball in a moment. So I asked Stephen Brault to describe your personalized coffee blend, and he said it fits J-Mo's personality perfectly. And then he said it was dark and nutty. What's up with that?
I was going to say, did he say it's really funny tasting or something? Because I'm pretty funny. No, yeah, South American coffee, smooth, easy to drink, mellow. That's what I'll give it. Dark and nutty, that'll work too.
How cool is it for you, given your experiences, obviously, which were not fun, but to use that experience and help others in need? What motivated that, and why'd you go the coffee route?
Yeah, I think, well, coffee's a passion of mine. I'll start there. It's something I love to do and love to drink and love to talk about. A lot of good things happen at coffee shops. You can talk to cool people, meet people, catch the vibe of a city through that. And I was kind of looking for something already, something I could get involved in and give back to. And when I got diagnosed with cancer, it was like the perfect opportunity to blend two things that are part of my identity.
Now, Steve Blass mentioned this a couple moments ago. How happy are you when people like me come up and ask you questions? We can ask about baseball, not about staying healthy. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm healthy now. So the health's in the back burner now. I'm just happy to be playing ball, happy to be building up with the guys, and looking forward to a healthy full year.
You've been very open about your journey, and you said you wouldn't trade it for anyone else. How is it, I guess maybe my long and winding question here is just how different is your life now baseball-wise than it was this time a year ago?
Yeah, last year, this time, I was really looking forward to my first full year in the big leagues, and I had all these special goals and numbers I wanted to hit and all these dreams and aspirations, and then sometimes you can have all the goals you want in the world and an outside factor can kind of change that. So I'm different this year, man. I'm living in the day, living in the now. A lot of people say they are, but I feel like I'm truly embodying that.
And now, talk about living in the day. How about opening day when the Pirates take the field at PNC Park April 2nd against the Minnesota Twins? Your reaction was what when you were told you were getting the ball?
That was a good tie-in there, living in the day, opening day. That was cool. No, I was really excited. I love pitching at PNC Park. I love Pittsburgh. I'm looking forward to taking the ball there and kind of setting the tone for our home season for the fans.
What does this represent to you to get to be named an opening day guy? And Clint Hurdle said, hey, this is a special thing for these guys. What was when you look back on everything, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, well, first off, I'm really happy for Nova. He's been around a while, and now he's kind of the veteran presence on our staff. So going to Detroit and having him kick off our year for us is special. And then, it's an honor. Anytime you get recognized by people that you work amongst, that's bigger than any other accolade you could get or recognition.
How much can a pitching staff improve on the field given the relationships that you all have off the field? Most of you guys came up through the minors together. This is all old hat for you, even though a bunch of you are young. What benefit is there to that?
Yeah, there could be a huge benefit there. I think the fact that we enjoy each other's company off the field or even in the clubhouse makes us more comfortable maybe to say, maybe I can go up across the room and talk to Chad and say, hey man, I saw you were doing this with your glove today in your bullpen, or maybe I thought you were doing this a little in the game, or your pitch sequence was a little predictable. I think if you don't have a relationship with somebody, it's tough to trust getting criticism or advice, and now that we all trust each other, enjoy each other's company, I think it's going to be easy for us to critique each other's games, watch each other's bullpens and stuff.
You had a really good day today. Why?
Fastball command. I was actually really excited. They had, I think, 6 or 7 lefties in their lineup. Last year, it's no secret, lefties hit me a little bit better than I would have liked. So I threw a lot of 4 seams in for strikes, 4 seams in for balls. As you saw, pitch count was good, broken bats, just commanding the ball around the zone outside of 2 walks. You
were so young in years in terms of age. How are you so mature for your age? Seriously. Everything's so polished. How?
I've been through a lot.
Easy enough. Man's been through a lot, and we're looking forward, Greg and Steve, to watching him pitch this year, right?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can't wait. JMO, great to see him in great shape and a great start. And his tweet was, I mean, perfect. Robbie asked him, what was it like when you were told you were going to pitch the home opener? And he tweeted out, honored to get the ball for the home opener, excited to see PNC and Yins again soon. A couple more weeks of good work in spring and we'll be heading north. Jameson Taillon.
He was fun today. A little glitch in the 4th inning, but then just put a red ribbon around it with 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. Yeah, good outing altogether. It looked like he did some of the things he was wanting to work on with the crowding people, especially the lefties.
Ryan Schimpf down on strikes against the Pirates lefty. Josh Smoker. Jameson Taillon, 5 innings, the 1 run, that little glitch in the 4th, the home run and a couple of walks, but ended up with 5 strikeouts.
Love the curveball. Still love it.
Went to work. Sure pleasing Ray Searage. Here's Danny Santana batting right-handed against Smoker. Hope you'll be there to see Jameson Taillon pitch the home opener against the Minnesota Twins on Monday, April the 2nd. Go to Pirates.com, get your tickets.
There is nothing like opening day. I mean, you're a baseball fan. It's a part of your season. It's a part of your year.
Stabbed by Smoker. And he gives up the home run to Albies, but gets out of it after a couple of men reached. 8-2.
Barrel Automotive. We'll beat anybody's price. Find out more at barrel.com. And by TGI Fridays. Get it here or get it to go. In here, it's always Friday. Let's go Bucks!
8-2 Pirates, bottom of the 6th inning. Here's Gregory Polanco. A couple of real strong at-bats for him. Pops up the breaking ball. And just enough room.
And that gives us a moment to give you this day in history.
Yeah, let's do that. Our Day Automotive great day from last season. July 14th. Pirates back from the All-Star break. A thrilling victory against the Cardinals. Josh Bell. 3-run walk-off homer in the 9th inning. First career walk-off. Came off the Cardinal closer, Sun 1-0. July 14th of last year. Great moment at PNC Park. Josh Bell today has walked and homered.
Yeah, walk-offs are always fun, even if it's a single. But you hit a walk-off home run, you get a chance to get that feel running around the bases and get ready for that reception. It is it's got to be a special thing.
Brings up Starling Marte. You had a moment?
Yes, want to give a special hello up in Pittsburgh, Isla English, who is the grandmother of Dave Taylor, a Pittsburgh native who is the general manager at Bradenton Country Club.
Oh.
I have to spend a little time out there on occasion. So,
yes, you do. I've noticed that.
Yeah, so
you do have to spend a little time there. Yeah. And we, by the way, we thank you for that. You represent us well over there at the Bradenton Country Club.
Yeah, you do what you can with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dave Taylor's grandma.
It's a spectacular place at your club, as Marte 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts.
Got one of my favorite people as a member over there, Graham Edge, drummer for the Moody Blues. Not fit, well, he's in the running. Good guy. A lot of great stories, by the way.
And he's just even keel, isn't he?
Oh yeah, even keel.
Right?
Yeah. After a couple of refreshments, he's back on the road with Janis Joplin. And the rest of the Doors. Great stories if you're a rock and roll fan. Graham Edge, delightful Englishman.
And an opposite field hit for Marte.
We've got other celebrities over there too. Paul Azinger.
Oh yeah.
Great golfer, is a member, as is Tony Jacklin. Won one of the majors. A lot of fun over at Bradenton Country Club.
Bunch of changes for the Braves. Carlos Franco is now at first. Danny Santana has moved from center to second. Jeff Decker's in right. Preston Tucker moved to left.
I was going to point those changes
I'm sorry.
out. You never give me a chance.
I'll leave you the center fielder, then I won't. You go ahead and tell us who's in center.
I don't know. Third base.
First base. Lane Adams is now in center. Corey Dickerson, a couple of hits and 3 at-bats. It was really kind of unsettled, Steve, when we reported, along with the players here in Bradenton, first over at Pirate City, and then the games began here at Lecom. But with the trades, and especially McCutcheon and left field, Pirates felt good about the idea that might be Frazier a little bit, Sean Rodriguez, Jordan Luplow. But when they acquired Corey Dickerson, seemingly just out of nowhere, Dickerson's available. He had been designated for assignment by the Rays. Again, made his first All-Star team last year. Evan Longoria talked about now with the Giants, a longtime Ray, that he kind of felt badly for players and the fan base in Tampa Bay. A guy like Corey Dickerson would be DFA'd. But the Pirates took advantage of that. They traded Daniel Hudson and a minor leaguer to get Dickerson, and that really seemed to settle things down. You've got an all-star left fielder now.
And they jumped on it. The
Yeah.
Pirates jumped on it. And yeah, it seemed to just tighten things up.
Yeah. 3-2. As we said, you hear the scouting reports, you get a reputation, but he's an American League guy. Did spend some time with the Rockies, but we don't see the Rockies but a couple times a year, and we never see the Rays. But we heard things like below average defense, but my gosh, he's made some fine plays this spring. Also heard about a guy that strikes out a lot. Well, he's shown this, where he can slap balls foul and stay alive in counts. Gets a barrel on the bat. Seen that. So far it's just spring, but
we're
really
encouraged.
encouraging.
Yeah. We like what we've seen so far. And that's all you can do, is judge what you've seen so far.
And of course, you knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
Strikes out. And we'll go back to the North Shore Studios for this TGI Friday spring break with Rob King and Michael McHenry.
Greg and Steve.
I would enjoy that because, as you can tell, the first few handful of games, this guy is into the game of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you love to work with people that have the personalities that are. He wears it on his sleeve.
Yeah.
You can tell. That's great.
The Fort. It is so great to have Michael McHenry back. I mean, he's such a popular player, and now he has really taken to this role. It's going to be so much fun. Already learned a ton just having a couple of these spring break games. So Michael will be with us all year long as the starters, most of them, are gone, including Corey Dickerson. They head toward the clubhouse, the McKechnie clubhouse. Josh Smoker, a second inning of work, facing Sean Kazmar Jr. Smoker gave up the 1 run in the 6th inning, but he is definitely, as Steve likes to say, a person of interest for this new look Pirates bullpen. Let's go down to Robbie with Josh Bell.
Yeah, you're talking about person of interest. How about Josh Bell being a person of interest for this 2018 Pirates season? The home run today, how are you feeling just in terms of where you typically might be this time during spring training?
No, I definitely feel like this is the best spring that I've had so far in regards to, how I feel in the box, that my approach is working pretty well and, I'm barreling the ball up every game, so I feel like I'm in a good spot.
One thing you do is work, and more work, and it almost doesn't end for you when the season ends between that time and when the next season begins. What can you tell us about your off-season routine? Even though we've had a chance to bring our cameras down and follow you for Inside Pirates Baseball, what put you in this position?
No, I had a lot of fun time with my parents. Got to unplug just a little bit, and my dad, once I got home, he was like, "You ready to go?" I got a pitching machine. We set it up in the garage, and it's kind of fun bringing back those memories, hitting with my dad in the garage. So it's always fun to do that.
How about when you look at your dad, Ernest? We know the influence that he's had on your career. He's a former football player, so he obviously comes with a big work ethic as well. How much has he pushed you just in your baseball life?
No, he definitely laid that foundation for knowing that. If I'm not getting better, I'm getting worse or staying the same. So that's what I do every day. I wake up trying to get just a little bit better, and I feel like it's definitely paying off so far.
You probably can't answer this in just one question during a spring training interview, but when you look at the last half of 2016, the dramatic grand slam, and as much fun as it was when you coming up, and then playing a full season last year, how do you just describe this baseball journey as a big leaguer compared to what you might have expected it to be?
No, it's definitely a roller coaster ride. Definitely something that was a learning experience for me. But you grow, you go through the ups and downs, and you're better for it. And I'm definitely excited to get going with these guys this year.
This is a very young team. How much do you appreciate being one of the leaders of a very young team, being that you're still a young guy yourself?
That's definitely cool. You look around, you see guys that we've been playing with since 2012 together. You got guys like Jameson, Chad Kuhl, Max Moroff, Tyler Glasnow. You look around, and these guys have been playing since 2011 really with Polanco. So you look around and you're seeing guys that you've known for years and years, and you're excited to get rolling with them.
I asked Jameson this question just a couple moments ago. It's just the pitchers have all been together for 6-7 years now. Similar with you with these guys. You're part of that group with all these guys you play with for a long time. What kind of benefit do you see that can produce on the field?
Oh, it's great. It's that cohesion. It's just knowing that you're going to bat for the guy behind you, the guy in front of you, guys that you've been going to bat for years and years. It's definitely important to have that cohesion in the clubhouse and on the field, so I'm excited to get rolling.
Brantley with the home run. It's now 8-3 here in the 7th inning. Okay, now, as you were walking back, Josh Harrison said, hey, ask him about picking up his helmet. Have you ever seen anybody pick up their helmet in a big league game? So you not only hit a home run, but you went and picked up your helmet when you got to home plate. What's up with that? Why'd you do it?
It was one of those things where I was thinking 3 out of the box. Touch first base, starts coming off, and I see it goes out, and helmet starts coming off. I try to catch behind my back, and I'm not trying to run around the bases with, my hair flying everywhere in the middle of March. It's different if it's, August, September and means something, but right now I'm just trying to, keep things cool and, nonchalantly jog around the bases with my helmet on. So
that's good. Yeah, that pick up at home, pick it up as you round first base. But still, man, that's like the most Josh Bell thing ever, though. You know that, right? Like, you're not a guy that, you don't take anything for granted, I would assume.
Yes, I definitely took some tough love from that. You guys coming back in the dugout there. But, I guess that's just me. It's just who I am.
That's it, and we enjoy who Josh Bell is. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
All right, Greg?
All right, Robbie and Josh, thanks so much. Josh Bell, just, so much fun to watch, and you just listen to him. He really gets it, as they say. As Josh Smoker just gave up the home run and then hits pinch hitter Christian Colon. Jeff Decker will get his first at bat, but first, another visit. Looks like Sam Street, a minor leaguer, might get an opportunity here as he's loosening in the Pirates bullpen.
And pretty articulate for Josh Bell. Another broadcaster in the making, Greg.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think Bell can do just about anything he's done playing ball down the road. Coach, manage.
No yard sales coming up for Josh Bell.
No.
On the bucko, Jeff Decker.
Signing for the fans up at the boardwalk, Josh Smoker, a guy that has been through the tough times, shoulder surgery back when he was a member of the Washington Nationals organization, first round pick of the Nats, supplemental first rounder back in 2007. After the surgery, he was let go and loved the game enough to hook on with the Rockford Aviators of the Frontier League, Independent League ball. At Frontier League where the Washington Wild Things reside. The Mets saw him and a scout on hand and signed him before the 2015 season. Spent a little time in their minor leagues, and then 2016 made his major league debut with the Mets. 20 appearances out of the bullpen last year, 54 appearances. He was designated for assignment in late January, and the Pirates traded for him. Jeff Decker singles. Pirates baseball from spring training, always live with MLB At Bat. The app will keep you connected every day with live radio calls, video highlights, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB At Bat now. It's your #1 Pirates app.
That guy bundled up on the right there.
Yeah, it looks like a Steve Blass hoodie, although that's a lighter hoodie than you have.
Temperature's dropping as we speak.
Yep. You came prepared, though. I'll say that.
If you care, prepare.
Are you warm enough?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
All right.
Yeah, how about you?
Yeah.
Good. Good to hear.
Nice day for a light jacket. Or just shorts and a jersey top.
Yep. Good day for watching the ball sail over the wall. Bunch of home runs this afternoon.
Yeah, 3 for these Braves. The Pirates have hit 3. Lane Adams is first at bat. We're back here tomorrow. Another AT&T Sportsnet on St. Paddy's Day. Radio and TV game tomorrow as the Pirates host the Twins. Sunday, a split squad will be on AT&T Sportsnet here against the Red Sox. Also be up in Dunedin on the radio side against the Blue Jays.
Fan that's ready.
Yep.
Looks like he just came out of a Notre Dame football game. Up on the boardwalk. Good time was had by all.
Yeah.
Last night the Bucko Bash was held up there. Boardwalk all around the outfield.
The Tiki Bar. Some folks from Dickey, McCamey, and Chilcote brought a bunch of people down today. They're up there on the boardwalk.
Get a chance to catch up with them later on for post-game debriefing.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on. Josh Smoker be down to a last pitch here.
Yep, he is a person of interest, but if you want to get people's interest going in a real good way, you start throwing a bunch of strikes. He's walked a batter, thrown a bunch of pitches.
Had walked 1 previous 5 outings, covering 5 innings, and Clint Hurdle trying to extend him into a 2nd inning. This first time he's gone more than 1 frame. This in his first spring with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, first 5 outings, squeaky clean.
Stories this last week from some of the Pittsburgh writers, including Jerry DiPola from the Trib, about Smoker's interest in racing. He and George Contos were up in St. Petersburg recently to attend the St. Petersburg Grand Prix. That's Adams.
And that's going to be it.
Yep. We are going to see the sidewinding minor leaguer, Sam Street. Josh Smoker, to this point, gives up a couple. Hoping to win a job in that Pirates bullpen. Bucks up 8-3. Here at Lecom. Pirates leading 8-3. They have made so many really great changes and upgrades to this historic ballpark, including that boardwalk a few years ago. Sam Street, the Australian native, who has pitched for the Bradenton Marauders in the Florida State League each of the last 2 years. That's what we did last year, Florida State League.
From the land down under.
Melbourne, Australia. Sam Street. Facing Preston Tucker. That's a fair ball past Ryan Lavarnway. This is going to score 1. Double for Tucker. Jeff Decker moves to third on the double. Carlos Franco, his first at bat.
Third out, becoming very elusive here in the top of the 7th. Very elusive.
Yeah, another hit, another ribby. 1 in. Strong throw to the plate is cut off by Ryan Lavarnway. Jordan Luplow has a really good arm, and I think he thought they had a shot at home. Lavarnway cut it off, so it's a 2-run single for Franco.
As you see, the score getting a little sticky.
This is when you after 5 innings of a spring training game, you got a good look at starters. And this is pretty much a theme of spring training in this day and age. Halfway through the ball game, it becomes now a battle, and certainly no disrespect to Sam Street. I mean, he's trying to impress, but he's played A ball each of the last 2 years, so he can gain some great experience. But in terms of Pirate fans watching, not much. He was a 16th round pick.
Yeah, it becomes a game of minor leaguers to the most part that are trying to impress.
That's it, and that's you know, you take it for what it is, but don't take anything out of this outing when it comes to 2018 season for the Pirates. So we'll head to the bottom of the 7th. An 8-6 ball game. And back to the North Shore studios for this TGI Friday spring break with
Very good point about guys going to winter ball. I remember going down there as a young pitcher who pitched AAA ball and found my slider. Found a slider that helped me had a major league career, and that you know, it doesn't always happen that way, but it's a high level. At least when I played, and I believe it still is. It was like AAA kind of baseball. But I remember facing all 3 Alou brothers, and Marichal was pitching for one of the teams. But the point is, sometimes you can find something and you can work on it and pound it and pound it and pound it, and sometimes it makes a big difference.
Colin Moran will get his final at bat, you would think, of the afternoon against lefty Rex Brothers. Moran lined out his first time up, sharply to right, singled just a blooper into left that brought in a run, and bounced out to first in his 5th inning at bat. Colin Moran over from the Astros. Be the starting third baseman for the Pirates.
Getting a little work against a hard-throwing lefty. And turning on it nicely, hitting the ball sharply.
One out, it'll bring up Elias Diaz, who crushed his third home run of the spring in the third inning. You know, being a Pirates season ticket holder, it's the only way to secure the best seats to all the games that you don't want to miss. The benefits and exclusive experiences go on all year long. Choose from a full season, a half season plan, or a 20-game season ticket plan. Find out more at pirates.com/2018. And the season begins 2 weeks from yesterday, April the 2nd, 2 weeks from this Monday. The Pirates host the Twins in the 132nd home opener for the Pittsburgh Pirates. A series against the Twins, 2-gamer, and then 4 with the Reds. The first free shirt Friday of the year, the first fireworks night on Saturday the 7th, and on Sunday the 8th. They raised the Jolly Roger rally towels to the youngsters on the first Kids Sunday of the year. That first month of the season includes a 3-game series against the Rockies, and then the Tigers and Cardinals. And Andrew McCutchen will make his return to Pittsburgh in early May. The first homestand of May is a weekend series against the Giants, May 11th, 12th, and 13th, as Diaz is down on strikes. Well, Rex Brothers, one-time closer for the Rockies, briefly, will face a pinch hitter, Jackson Williams, who caught for Altoona and Indianapolis last year, the Pirates minor leagues. He is a non-roster invitee. This is the 50th season the Pirates have trained here in Bradenton, Florida. So again, this historic ballpark. Pirates made their way up from Fort Myers. Steve Blass and crew came up from Fort Myers and
never looked back.
Yeah, 1969 started it all here in Bradenton, Florida. It has been a great relationship. Manny Sanguian, part of that Pirates team.
You actually spent a little time at Pirate City, didn't you?
I did.
You worked the instructional league?
Yep, right out of high school. Here in October, November.
I bet there were a lot of aspects to your job. They had you doing a little bit of everything.
That's being a clubhouse guy in the instructional league and the only guy for 4 teams. That was something. That was a learning experience.
A little different Pirate City than there is now.
We had the Pirates, Yankees, Japanese team, and I think for a time the Braves were here too in the instructional league. Pirate City just a few miles from here. An easy drive.
If the train doesn't stop you.
Yeah, that's true.
Train track from Tropicana.
There are ways to get around it now, though.
Yep.
Many years ago, there were no.
That's right.
You were done.
Yep. They ship a lot of stuff out of Tropicana, and a lot of it's by rail.
But this was known as City Park when it opened up in 1923. The site of now LECOM. It's gone through a number of name changes and upgrades. Cardinals were the first major league team to call this place their spring training home in 1924. And the Phillies were here for a short time in 25. Red Sox came in 1929. Cardinals returned in 1930. The old Gas House Gang, part of the spring training in Bradenton, and again known as City Park, but changed to Braves Field when the Boston Braves started training here in 1937. Down on strikes goes Jackson Williams. The Pirates We're down in order, and we'll go back to the North Shore Studios. Another TGI Friday spring break.
The batting gloves, which they, by the way, just fastened 8 seconds before. They're taking practice swings. I don't know if it's more the pitchers or the hitters causing the longer games.
Well, first of all, you know, one of the great things that we used to say about the game of baseball was that there was no clock. Now there's clocks all over the place for every aspect. And this nonsense about starting a runner in a professional baseball game at second base, it's crazy, ludicrous, insane. It stinks to high heaven, just like a dead skunk in the middle of the road.
I'm glad Steve said it.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm glad you didn't hold back.
It's awful. You know, the game of baseball has been pretty good for 100 years. Leave it alone.
Agreed. Agreed.
Okay, that's no more editorial comments.
Well, the only thing I will say is that it's already changed years ago. First of all, the DH thing is way different in the minor leagues. You know, the pitchers never bat unless it's a National League affiliate against the National League affiliate at AA and AAA. Pablo Reyes, the second baseman, will commit the error. And in the minors, they play They don't play 7-inning games, double headers, or 7 innings. So.
Not that I agree with any of that stuff.
No, I'm just saying it's not like there's anything new here.
Well, it's an evolving disaster.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
That doesn't bother me as much because for me, the minor leagues are for development mainly. I guess I'd prefer if they were going to do this runner at second base, it would be in the lower minors, not AAA, maybe AA, but not AAA. But yeah, I don't. That doesn't bother me as much. It would bother the heck out of me if it were in the big leagues, of course. But they started in the World Baseball Classic. They started that idea. Jose Osuna is now at third base. Tyler Epler figures to be part of the rotation at AAA Indianapolis. Runner takes off. Jackson Williams, a strong throw, and they're going to get the out. There's a little overslide there by Danny Santana.
Now we should have gotten on the ground ball. We get at second base. We're even.
Nice job, Max Moroff, the new shortstop. He came on to play short last inning. Jackson Williams Shows off that strong arm. Stephen Gaylor, his first at bat. Max Moroff in a battle for that final position spot, as is Jose Osuna over there at third. Bryce Brents is now in left, Michael McHenry's buddy. He's also one of those players in a fight for that spot. Bunted by Gaylor, foul. Tyler Epler, Clay Holmes. A couple of those pitchers, Nick Kingham likely part of that AAA rotation. Or maybe a Casey Sadler. Coming your way again from Bradenton, Florida. Talking about the changes over the years over at Pirate City, the minor league complex, and the changes here, and the great history. It was not renamed McKechnie. We mentioned it was Braves Field for, 1937 till 62, I believe it was, and 62 in honor of Bill McKechnie, the Bradenton resident and former player and big league manager, including with the Pirates. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame that year in 1962. They renamed it McKechnie Field. Until last year when it was renamed Lecom Park, an acronym for Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. Campuses in Erie and in Bradenton and in Greensburg. The name has changed, but the city has been a great host for the Pirates, going on 50 years now. Epler strikes out Gaylor. Yep, third longest in Florida in the same city. The Tigers and Phillies, Tigers in Lakeland, Phillies in Clearwater. Only longer matchups, these two teams, the Tigers and Phillies. Bradenton Marauders were brought back here. And there were changes, the upgrades that were made. 1993, the field and the stadium, big upgrades there. 2008, lights were added. The boardwalk in 2013.
Yeah, that's the stadium, all the stuff at Pirate City.
Yeah. Oh, launches this one to deep right. Talk about a launch angle. Wow. Rob Brantley, he's having one heck of a spring. Brantley came in hitting .429. His second home run in as many at-bats.
Well, we have ourselves a one-run ballgame. And let's not forget, Greg, also that there was a point where I thought we were going to lose the city of Bradenton and the Pittsburgh Pirates. There was a lot of talk, serious talk about going up to Winter Haven. And nothing against Winter Haven, but I don't think it.
Well, we know Winter Haven, and Winter Haven is not Bradenton.
Yeah, yeah, you said it better than I probably would. We actually went up there a couple times when the Indians were up there, right? And yeah, it's not Bradenton.
Another deep drive the other way. Luplo. Just enough room. Christian Colon. Deep drive. Another run in. 8-7.
Pirates Charities once again
Pirates going to the bottom of the 8th. Spring training baseball, Pablo Reyes, a non-roster invitee. A 24-year-old from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic who played here in Bradenton for the Marauders a couple years ago with Altoona last year, hit .274 and drives one to left. And boy, talk about this ball was hit off that light tower or the pole. Pablo Reyes, for a guy who from a distance listed at 5'8", 170, he packs a lot of punch.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter. It has been a hitter's day here at Lecom. Check it out. Down and in and back out.
He's another person of interest down the road for the Pirates.
Yep.
Keep an eye on him. That ball was hammered. Pablo Reyes. It's his first home run of the spring.
That had to feel good. He got all of it.
Off a veteran lefty. Rex Brothers. Here's Max Moroff, batting right-handed, his first AB of the game.
And saw him go deep. One of other games we did.
.273 average this spring with 1 homer.
You know, Greg, one other aspect too about coming up from Fort Myers to Bradenton. We have our minor league facility right here. It's all intact. Down in Fort Myers, when you were sent to the minor leagues, you either went up to Jacksonville or you went up to Daytona Beach. Not that it's a massive deal, but if you want to, use some of the guys that you had earlier cuts. And
ball takes a nice bounce off the backstop, so they get the strikeout. Let's go back to Robbie for an injury update.
Yeah, guys, one guy who was scheduled to make a start this past Monday but did not is Tyler Glasnow, and he's the subject of this afternoon's Allegheny Health Network injury update. He missed the start due to flu-like symptoms. Now, yesterday, he threw about 35 pitches in a side session and told me this morning he feels good and he feels back to normal. Now, this did put him back a few days, but he said it's better to get sick now rather than when the season begins. So his next outing, we'll see him right here on AT&T Sportsnet, is going to be Sunday. Speaking of Fort Myers, Steve, when the Boston Red Sox make the trek north here to come up and take on the Buccos.
Yep. Be a busy day on Sunday because part of the Bucco entourage will be heading to Dunedin. We'll have people all over the place.
Base hit for Jordan Luplow.
Just a matter of who Ray Surge wants to see on Sunday. Make the trip or stay here.
Ball, no strikes on LaVarn Way. Ryan LaVarn Way signed a minor league free agent deal. Former Boston Red Sox catcher, a little bit of time with these Braves 3 years ago. Spent most of last year in the Oakland A's minor league system. Varnway hitting .267, 4 for 15 with 1 home run this spring. Pirates have hit 4 home runs today, and LaVarnway hits one deep the other way, make it 5. Oh, launched the other way.
Maybe over the board.
Bombs away in Bradenton.
Little insurance for the Buccos. cannon shot to right center field. And there is a brisk wind blowing, so it got a lot of late help, but he got a lot of it. And
Brian Snitker's going to make a move here. See, this is one of those games as a pitcher, you're the bullpen. What do you try and hide, right? You don't want to be here.
Yep, yeah. You pull a cord out of the phone.
Yeah.
Just go somewhere else.
Either one of them. No, that was you.
In a special edition of Inside Pirates Baseball, microphones accentuate both the serious and comedic natures of men playing at work. Dive into Pirates workouts with Ivan Nova, Felipe Rivero, Stephen Brault, Sean Rodriguez, and Coach Camara Barti for a taste of big league life with Inside Pirates Baseball. Spring Micah airs tonight at 6 right here on AT&T Sportsnet.
Already one out here in the bottom of the 8th. Josh Graham on the mound for the Braves. Wonder if he's any relation to Moonlight Graham.
Oh, yes, he is. He's the great grandson of Moonlight Graham.
Burt Lancaster character in Field of Dreams.
Quite a story here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a
great grandson here. Yeah. Josh Graham of Moonlight Graham. True or false?
False.
Here's Christopher Bostic. Two balls and one strike on Christopher Bostic. Saw him big leagues last year with the Pirates. Bostic hit .296 in 20 games for the Pirates last year, .294 AAA Indy. In his first year of the Pirates organization. And draws the walk against Josh Graham, and here comes Bryce Brentz. Bryce Brentz, Steve, you know where Bryce Brentz went to college?
At Brentz University.
Yeah, well, Michael McHenry might know. Michael, do you know this guy?
I sure do. I know him well. Very, very well.
Give us a scouting report on him.
I said it earlier in the broadcast, one of the first ones I did. He's a diamond in the rough. He's a guy with a lot of raw power. First round draft pick. Started out really, really strong in his minor league career. Fell off a little bit with some injuries and some other things. And then came back last year, kind of revamped his swing, reinvented himself, and had a huge year. See, 271, 31 homers, 85 RBIs. And he honestly probably didn't start that till about May 15th.
Middle Tennessee State product like Michael McHenry. Brent's on cue. Singles to center field. He figures if he makes this club, this is kind of going to be his role off the bench. Provide some pop. talked a lot about the fact that he, of the handful of players trying to win that final spot among position players, he is out of options. So the Pirates risk losing him to another organization, which usually gives guys like Brents a leg up on the others. That's Jose Osuna, another one of those players who's been very impressive again this spring. Osuna spent most of last year in the big leagues. This spring hitting .333 with 3 home runs, 9 for 27. Facing Josh Graham. Pirates have opened up this 11-7 lead with a pair of home runs this inning. .90 feet.
One more run for the Pirates, and the Braves will be allowed to start their first runner in the top of the 9th from second base.
That's a new rule you're implementing for spring training?
Yep. Why not?
Josh Graham is no relation, by the way, to Moonlight Graham.
It'll let you know that Burt Lancaster can play just about any character.
Yep.
It's just great and everything.
Another player in big league camp trying to make an impression. Oftentimes in spring training here in Florida and in Arizona, that's what it's all about. Waited on the off-speed pitch and pulls it foul. Jose Osuna played third base in winter ball. Trying to learn a new position. This 25-year-old from Venezuela with .233 last year in the big leagues with 7 homers, 30 RBIs.
Showing big-time power at times.
Not a bad total, by the way. 200 at bats, 30 ribbies. That's good production. First taste of major league pitching. Lays off. 2-2 on Osuna. Tyler Epler, the pitcher, is on deck and will bat. Pop up. Bostic gonna score. Sacrifice fly. Bucks have a dozen. Good base running too as Brents, as Bostic scores from third with Brents at second following that wild pitch. And see if Tyler Epler can keep this going. We're talking about minor league rules. And minor league pitchers don't get many at bats at all. Again, in the lower minors, they don't bat. In the AA and AAA levels, they hit only against National League opponents. They'll be retired for the final out, and we're heading to the final inning. But first, back to our North Shore studios. TGI Friday Spring Break with Rob
debut, he wore number 63. If you notice right now, he's wearing a different number. That's 44, and the significance of it is pretty cool. He was drafted in 2011 by the Oakland A's in the 44th round. And he told me this morning it's a reminder of him of where he came from. It's very easy to forget how cool it is to be here playing baseball and see the jersey hanging in your locker every single day. But one day, there will not be a jersey hanging there. He said this is just simply a constant reminder of where he came from, who he is, and to continue and be that person. And guys, 2011 was the last year that the draft even had a 44th round. It was 50 rounds when Bostic was drafted. The next year in 2012, they shortened it to 40 rounds. So pretty cool story, huh?
That's wild. My gosh, that's good stuff. As Jeff Decker takes the ball, Christopher Bostic, Rochester, New York native.
Looking for 3 outs to get it in the barn. And before we get too far into this, I just want to send it along to Michael McHenry. Mike, I really, really enjoyed talking to you about pitching and catching earlier in the ballgame.
Before we get too far along.
Well, I mean, it's the last inning.
Well, yeah, we're pretty far along. So we're here in the ninth. I mean,
I've seen ninth innings take a long time.
One thing I would suggest to Michael is, Michael, if you care, prepare. That's the theme of Steve Blass, and as you can tell, he is prepared.
Yeah, he looks good in that sweatshirt.
I mean, you must respect this man, Michael, don't you?
I do, absolutely.
Yep.
What's not to respect? Look up to him, too.
Well, what we're dealing with up here is, Michael, you and I were players. See,
Oh.
Michael, it doesn't take long for Walk, Wayner, and Blass, and you, I'm sure, before long. Rob King, you know the deal. That shuts it down. No discussion after that. It's over.
Well, we were talking before the game. Some guys need spring training. I think Greg Brown could roll out of bed on Christmas Day and call the Pirates game, Steve.
Oh, no question.
Absolutely.
What do you think of that, Steve? Even though he didn't play the game.
I'm one of his biggest fans.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, is there a wind tunnel out there? What's with all these homers? You touch the ball, it goes out. Yeah, it's incredible.
It is unbelievable. I mean, that's a Decker's home run off Epler is number 5 for these Braves, and the Pirates have hit 5. Michael, what's that like? I mean, you played here at the former, then it was McKechnie, now Lecom, but I mean, as a player, when you're hitting, or as a catcher trying to calm down a pitcher, what do you say?
Just focus on what you can and control what you can, because you can't control the wind. You know, God made it windy today. There's nothing you can do about that. So just go out and pitch your game. You know, if they hit a pitch that they probably shouldn't have out of the ballpark, it's out of your control. You just continue to pound the zone and try to get outs any way you can.
Well, that too, and hope that they hit the ball in the air, because they're hitting it so hard, you don't want it coming back at the pitcher.
Luckily, I was on the other side. I was getting to see the ball come off the bat. I didn't have to worry about catching on the other side.
We will be sending it back to Rob and Michael after the game, but just to echo Steve's sentiments about Michael McHenry, it is great to have the fort back in Pittsburgh, and man, you talk about an acquisition. Holy moly, look at this. Whoa.
Over everything.
Lane Adams. This is incredible.
Arena ball.
Wow.
Home run derby.
This is unreal. This is a Lecom Park kind of day. Wow. Yeah, that's 6 solo home runs.
Wow.
That is a blast.
I would have been proud to throw that one.
Oh, man. Ray Sears is telling Tyler Epler that right now. Be proud he threw that one. My gosh.
Well, whatever launch angle they're using today, it's working.
Wow. Hey, before we get too far along, I want to make sure we mention that tomorrow spring training baseball continues. We celebrate St. Patrick's Day with the afternoon game against the Twins. And we'll be joined by the Hall of Famer, the legendary Doc Emmerich. He'll join John and me for the broadcast starting at 1 here on AT&T Sportsnet. And Doc is still here. He is a season ticket holder. He's with his brother Dan behind the home dugout, taking it all in. He says he's got the uniform, he's got the green shirt.
And I bet he's got all the stats on every player in this camp.
Foul ball. There he is, taking notes. He does. You talk about you care, prepare. He already has notes on every Pirate player for tomorrow.
Remember when he came up and
Yep.
the time he said it, he had a notebook.
Yep. With his brother Dan. Now, whether he has a sweatshirt, would you mind if he borrowed your sweatshirt for tomorrow? Because it's supposed to be like 62 tomorrow.
I wouldn't mind. He can afford his own sweatshirt. So can you, by the way.
I don't need one though. Not today. But not today. There's Doc. Doc, thanks to the folks at NBC Sports, they always give him some time off for the NHL season so he can enjoy watching his Buccos. Now, he was at fantasy camp one year, right?
He was.
Was Wayner his manager or you? Who was the manager for Doc?
He was not on my team.
I think it was Wayner's.
Yeah, I think he was on Wayner's team. He was awful.
Who? Doc was awful
terrible.
as a player?
Terrible.
I don't believe that.
Terrible. But he did get fined a few times. No, he was a good player. He was one of our better players the year he was there. And he did get fined. I had to find him several times. First of all, he lied about his age.
Yeah,
he did.
He did.
Well,
look at those notes though. Look at this. He is unbelievable.
He lied about his age because he didn't put it his age on the form. So we had to bring the form that he signed up to go to fantasy camp and expose him in front of all those people. There's an out.
Yeah. Headline news. It's an out.
But he is a joy to be around, Doc Emmerich.
So much fun. So much fun. And it'll be a blast to have him on with us again tomorrow. It's become an annual Doc Emmerich game in the booth with us. St. Patrick's Day. Carlos Franco now. High pop.
That's going to be fun in this
Osuna,
wind.
shortstop Moroff. Really have to stay with it. Michael Reed, a minor league player for the Atlanta Braves. The Braves train in Orlando. They're going to train there one more year next season. And then they'll relocate in 2020. Just about 45 minutes south of here, Northport. Along the West Coast. Facing Tyler Epler, College Station, Texas, a 25-year-old who was a 6th-round pick 4 years ago. Out of Texarkana Junior College. He spent all of last year at AAA Indianapolis. Finished with a 4.89 ERA. Tyler Epler. 6'5", 230 pounds. Another former Marauder. Pitching here in Bradenton in 2015 when he went 6-1 with a 2.58 ERA.
Yeah, that'll jump you up the ladder a little bit usually.
So the crowd of nearly 6,000 hoping this is the last out. There's a nice play by Jose Osuna. Very well done. Nice finish. Buccos get a W. Jamison Tyone.
He's the story.
Yep.
5 very impressive innings. Just 1 run. It was a home run on 1 hit. Walked a couple and struck out 5. So yeah, that's the theme of this game, along with the fact that it seemed like there were howitzers going from home plate over the wall.
So the Buccos win it here over the Braves. And we'll head back to our North Shore studios for this TGI Friday spring break. Once again, Rob King and Michael McHenry.
Greg and Steve, thanks.